We're talking markets with Tommy Grisafi from Advanced Trading, ATI ProMedia. I'm Don Wick with the Red River Farm Network. As always, Tommy, we appreciate these chances to sit down and talk about what's been happening in the trade this week. And I got to say, corn and soybeans in particular, it's been an ugly start to this year.
Yeah, tough. I'm looking at the markets right now. Corn's down 462 in March futures, not impressive. Beans down another 7 or 8, 1268, well off prices from a few months ago. You know, when you have harvest, you think the markets are low, but then a few months later, you say, "Wow, we're even lower than that." And I paid a few months storage to do that, so it's starting to be a touchy subject to talk to people about. But we do need to still manage the risk, Don.
We had an export sales report out this morning. Exports, it's pretty dismal, really, for all of the commodities.
Yeah, we did have for a while there, we had exported some wheat to China. We had a lot of shipments of PNW. You know, China did their normal thing where they buy our harvest, right? And now as South America comes online, they will be switching down to South America. It's a very long process. They planted very early down there and they're harvesting very early. So it'll be a long extended harvest. And of course, all eyes on South American weather.
We have been paying a lot of attention, and it seems like that forecast has improved considerably for what's happening in particular in Brazil.
Yes, and they plant so many acres, or they call them hectares, that who knows how much is planted and who knows what the yields are. All types of people running around saying that the crops are way lower. Some very well respected firms came out, a few firms this week with a much lower number. Time will tell. I know this: the world is not running out of corn, wheat, or soybeans. And although everything's not perfect, when you look at your local cash market up there in the northern plains, things are a little dismal. I do understand. I did you. How did that show go in Devil's Lake?
Good show, great attendance. Lake Region Extension Roundup. It's always one of those first shows of a new year, and they have tremendous number of seminars and really good attendance. Yeah,
Yeah, were farmers optimistic?
yeah. I think generally, I heard a lot of growers kind of complaining a little bit about the open winter. I think they don't like moving snow, but they're still a little concerned about making sure we have enough moisture to go into the 2024 growing season. Um,
Yeah. Speaking of moisture, we on my show this morning on ATA Pro Media Live at 9, what the big snow's coming for the Midwest next week. Possible. It looks a little over advertised. 20 some inches of snow in Iowa over a few days. That could really help that part of Iowa. The whole state of Iowa is in a pretty good drought compared to the rest of the U.S.
That kind of gave the hog market a pop too, just because of winter weather, the blizzard or snow. Plus, we've got some really cold temperatures, I think, starting to come our direction as well, which we haven't had all winter long, at least in this
I'm
neck
only
of the woods.
smiling because it is January, Don. Like we've had
Yeah,
an exceptionally warm uh, winter here. I think at home I've only put on a coat a couple days. So as long as I have this Carhartt sweatshirt, I am good to go. But things seem to be changing here.
yeah, no doubt about it. When we talk about this market, wheat has been holding up. What's behind this wheat market?
Wheat is just doing a little better. It's still up today. Border trade up 3, KC up 3, Minneapolis up a little bit. It's holding in there, and there's problems with shipping. We could do a whole episode just about shipping. But long story short, I'm going to pull up a map for everyone watching. Uh, a lot of people would take this red route and they now have to take this green route. And as you know, you're a smart guy. There's a big difference in the red route versus the green route. And over 15 shipping companies worldwide have said just go around the south part of Africa. And it's a horrible situation. And this affects everything. One day you're going to hear a story that Walmart's out of this because it took 2 extra weeks to get here, whatever. It's not good, right? Everyone's gotten used to just in time. You see what happened when things got disrupted during the pandemic. Shipping prices, freight on shipping has absolutely skyrocketed the last 10 days, Don.
I talked with Frayne Olson from NDSU Extension, North Dakota State University Extension, at that meeting at Devil's Lake this week. He talked about the possibility of this favoring the PNW for some of those folks trying to get grain out to China. So there might be some positive news, at least for the Northern Plains, Upper Midwest, trying to move product that direction.
Really positive news. And it's not like you'll see it just all in one day. You'll
Right.
look back a few months from now and see, you know what, that those trains were going up and down 29, taking a left and heading all the way to the PNW. And you ever get a chance to go on the PNW trip, please bring me with. I have not been there. I'm sure you have, and I would like to see that. But I hear it's quite impressive as we load grain out of the PNW.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Some outside markets, Tommy, the jobs numbers have been out. We've been looking at interest rates as well, housing starts, those kind of things. What are you looking at in just the general economic news?
We had an unemployment number, and it came out hot that more people are working than expected. And it really rocked the markets. Initially, stocks sold off hard, the bond market sold off, which means interest rates went up, and then everything started to reverse out of there pretty good. We went from a complete reverse where stocks were down huge to back up, where the bond market was down huge and came back up. And the secret was it took people about 10, 15 minutes to digest the numbers. They did months and months and months of revision. So all the last 3 months where they said the economy was pretty good, it is, but they revised the numbers down. So much like a USDA number where people think there's a conspiracy theory, on the financial side of markets, they really adjusted numbers tremendously. So that's something to keep an eye on. Overall, the job market is very good in the United States. That's how I'd wrap that up. More jobs created than were expected.
So we like to watch what's happening in Washington D.C. Congress has been out officially. They'll go back into session next week. We've seen the headlines this week with a number of House members on the border. They were at Eagle Pass, that one rail route that had been closed between the U.S. and Mexico, trying to bring attention to these border issues. We, of course, have talked about in this report before, Tommy, about the appropriations bill. We had that stopgap spending measure. It got us through January 19th for about 4 different spending measures, including agriculture, Food and Drug Administration, CFTC. That's part of that one as well. And then there's another 8 spending bills that wrap up early February. There's talk now from some of the conservative Republicans that they're working towards a government shutdown as leverage if we don't see the administration and some of the Democrats in both the House and Senate try to do some work to get that border secured. So it's getting pretty close when we're looking at January 19th and today's the 5th of January.
New Year, same bingo card, starting to fill up the squares early, a lot of drama. And I don't mean that we're not supposed to be that way. Speaking of drama, look at the bottom ticker. USDA Friday, 1/12/2024, 11 o'clock CST. USDA is going to release a whole batch of numbers, can very much affect the markets. I understand you may be traveling to the USDA forum. You want to talk a little bit about that?
USDA has their annual Ag Outlook Conference in mid-February. This year, it's their 100th anniversary, so should be a lot of attention to it. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been to that conference before. I know you have, and I'm looking forward to really get that snapshot of what's happening in all the different commodities. And, of course, the secretary and a lot of the chief USDA officials will be on that program as well.
If I can clear my schedule, I promise you I will join you real quick. How do people get a hold of us? They call us there. Call
Wow.
ATI ProMedia, 1-855-737-FARM. Email us at info@ATI ProMedia. Of course, anything else you'd like to add, Mr. Wick? I see my phone is ringing. People want to talk to me. Not the best news we're delivering, but it is the news of this week. Anything else good, sir?
No, good chance to talk to you, Tommy. Appreciate it as always. Keep in mind, we do this each week. And of course, you've got your live update at 9 o'clock every morning, each weekday, Tommy. Thanks again for joining us.
I got a clip of this pretty young lady I work with. I'm going to play. See you, Don Wick.
Take care.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.